What's going on, guys? It's DexMax here. Welcome back to another video, and as you can see, I finally reached 5,000 trophies today. So I used this balloon freeze deck that I'm not sure where I found it, but it's really strong. I replaced Cannon with Inferno because I was seeing a lot of tank decks. So let's take a look at my battle log. Went on a pretty good win streak there and lost a couple, and then 5 wins in a row, and then lost a bunch more, and kind of went back and forth. But anyways, I'm going to be going over this last replay that got me to 5,000, and I'll probably go over some Royal Giant replays since there's a lot of Royal Giant users on ladder right now. So this was the battle that got me to 5k. We went against a Hog Elite Barbarian deck, and we actually started out with Pump in this match, so that's really nice. And he was actually using Ice Wizard, which is a little bit uncommon these days. So he starts off with a Hog and gets a couple shots. I was debating whether I should put my Knight in front of my Musketeer, but I decided to hold off and just kind of save my elixir so I can go in with my balloon. So I put my Knight down here, and I was going to put my balloon on the right side, but since he placed minions there, I went on the opposite lane. And now I know that he has a building, but it doesn't hit air troops. So once again he goes in with a Hog Rider, gets about 3 or 4 shots off, and now we've saved up for enough elixir for a balloon. And I don't have enough arrows, so I can't arrow his minions right there. So I just decided to freeze it. And as soon as I get enough elixir for those arrows, I do go ahead and place them on those minions. So Knight gets a ton of damage on his tower, and Balloon got 1 hit off. And he comes in with a Hog Rider once again and zaps our skeletons. So now we're pretty even in damage. So since we had that Knight still survive, we're at a slight elixir advantage. He still hasn't shown me his Elite Barbarians yet, but he's gonna just go ahead and fireball my Musketeer. And my Musketeer is only level 8, so basically every player that had fireball had a level 9 fireball that would kill my Musketeer in 1 hit. So Balloon does get its death damage on its tower, and my tower is already down to 413. So I think he should have probably fireballed my tower right there, just so he could cycle back to it, and if necessary he could take down my tower with another fireball. But we have his tower down to 80, so that'll die to 2 arrows. And we didn't have our building up in time, so we actually had to freeze his Hog Rider and get our Inferno tower just in time so his Hog Rider wouldn't get a single hit off. So right here, we're just gonna arrow that, and he wasn't able to cycle to his firewall in time. Really close, actually. He got my tower down to 44, so really could have gone anyway. So next replay, I want to go over this Royal Giant deck. As you guys might know, a lot of people like to use Royal Giant on ladder because they can easily level it up with, since it's a common. So our starting hand here was pretty bad. We cycled with our skeletons, but still, right here we had pretty much a dead hand. All I could do really was place my balloon. So I did go ahead and do that, see if he had any buildings or air targeting troops. So he defends it pretty easily with that cannon. And he throws down his Royal Giant right there. Our Inferno Tower is going to kill off his Royal Giant, but he zaps. So his Royal Giant gets a couple extra hits on our tower. So now I pump up and that cycles to my skeleton, so that can absorb one hit from his bomber. And he shows me his elite barbarians right here, so I defend with my knight and musketeer. And I think that's why knight is just really good right now. It's super tanky. Even though Ice Golem can tank too, he can't really target and hit the troops. So we go in here with a balloon, but he just pulls it with his cannon again, and I actually do freeze here. See if we can get any damage on his tower. Doesn't make it to the tower, sadly. It only gets its death damage off. And now we've cycled back to another pump. So we go ahead and place that down, and he decides to go with Royal Giant in the back, which was pretty well played, since he knew that I didn't have balloon in hand. So I start off my musketeer in the back, and just getting ready to place my Inferno Tower. And he places his elite barbs right in front of his Royal Giant, so our Inferno Tower wouldn't lock on. And now he has a full HP Royal Giant at our tower, so we're kind of forced to drop down our freeze. And he even puts another Royal Giant in, but I think that was a bit of a bad play, since we already had 2 musketeers down who would take out his Royal Giant really easily. So now we have a huge counter bridge coming with our 2 musketeers. We throw down prediction arrows, doesn't hit anything, but we actually do freeze here, I think, just so we can get a couple more shots off with his balloon and try to end the game right here. So there you go, we took out his left tower, and he basically knows it's a good game. I have my Inferno Tower up. He's not gonna be able to get through with his Royal Giant. So there we go. That's how we beat that Royal Giant Elite Barbarian deck. So I'm gonna be going over one more battle here. I want to go over Graveyard, since Poison got buffed. Graveyard is a little bit stronger. But overall, I haven't seen too much Graveyard on ladder, at least. But anyways, I thought I'd show you this. I start off with Pump in hand once again. And while I place my Elixir Collector, he sets up his Furnace, which makes me think he's playing a Royal Giant or a Miner chip deck. So he kind of surprised me with his Graveyard when he first played it. So once again, we're in kind of a bad hand, so I just go in with a balloon push so we can cycle to some better cards, and also see what his defenses for my balloon is. So Knight does a great job here taking all that out. We only take a little bit of damage from those archers. And again, we cycle to another Elixir Collector. And he's coming with another Furnace. I probably should have placed that Musketeer in the center after those Fire Spirits died, so it would target, my Musketeer would kill off that Furnace. But we were able to kill it off with their Inferno Tower instead. So there we go, he finally shows me his Graveyard. And he played his Graveyard right after I played my Knight, so I didn't really have any counters. So I kind of just went all in with my balloon there and arrowed his skeletons. And we got pretty lucky there, and his Electro Wizard ignored my balloon, so we actually got 2 hits off, bringing his tower down to 770. Now we have another pump in hand, and we go ahead and place that. And I'm a little bit more careful playing all of my troops this time, since I know he has Graveyard. But still, we have to arrow this so we won't take all that damage. And Balloon almost got there, but just barely doesn't get it, and only his death damage damages his tower down to 442. keeps placing his furnace down close to the river, so I use my Inferno Tower to take that out since I know that his win condition is Graveyard. And we freeze right there. I know all I have to do is get my balloon death damage onto the tower. So there we go. He goes ahead and poisons, so that will take out my tower along with that log. And we just go ahead and place my knight and balloon straight in, right in the middle. And balloon gets to the tower, gets 2 hits off. So I know that all I need to do is survive one more graveyard push, and I should be able to get my balloon to the tower. And once again, I placed my knight a little bit too early, but with both of my towers activated, takes out the graveyard really easily, and balloon makes it to the tower, giving me that 2-1 victory. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. Pretty excited that I got 5,000 trophies. I definitely give this deck a shot if you have all of these cards, and since there's no legendary, most of you probably should have all these cards. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next Clash Royale video.